Brad here with Twisted Elk Brewery, introducing my new Elk Kick Craft Malt Liquor. This is actually part 2 of the video series. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll leave a link in the description below, and that's where me and Chris sit down. We sample all the commercial malt liquors we could find locally, and we do tasting notes, and we use that data to formulate a recipe for this beer right here. So what we have is, we're calling it a craft malt liquor, because we wanted to capture the essence of the malt liquor flavor, but we wanted it to taste good. We wanted to avoid a lot of those off flavors that a big portion of the commercial brands actually had. There was anything we found that was over 6-7% really seemed to have a lot of fusel alcohol, and there was just some really odd flavors that were coming out of it. And basically malt liquor is, in a sense, is just a high gravity lager, and it's made with adjuncts typically. So we used corn sugar as our adjunct to boost the gravity of this beer. We made sure that we didn't go over 15% on the cane sugar, which took us to about 6.1% alcohol. Originally we wanted to go to 7% alcohol, but once we kind of started playing around in Beersmith with some different recipe combinations, and we realized the amount of cane sugar it was going to require to kind of get us there, we were afraid that it was going to give us some off flavors and stuff, so we decided to stay right there. But I'm going to crack this open. Let's pour it in here so you guys can see what it looks like. We actually got a nice head on this. We did put a pretty heavy portion of dextrin malt in here too, because that was one thing we noticed about a lot of the malt liquor brands out there. It had almost no head retention at all, and we did build it up with a little bit of dextrin malt here so that we had that as well. Right off the gate with the aroma, you get that essence of what a malt liquor smells like and kind of even tastes like, and I can't even describe what it is. But I think basically what it comes down to is that when you're slightly stressing the lager yeast out with that cane sugar or another adjunct, some type of a sugar, it actually gives it a unique flavor. And that flavor by itself is actually pretty pleasant. So that is really good. You get no off flavors from this beer. A lot of the other brands that we had tried, most of them, the majority of them, had some kind of weird off funky flavors going on there. Now we did ferment this out about 54 degrees for pretty much the entire time, besides like our diacetyl rest. So we didn't want to rush it. We wanted to make sure it was clean. It took a little over 3 weeks, I think, to wrap this up. And then we lagered it down for another couple weeks, and we filtered it over to here. And it's like really, look at it releasing too. I mean, that CO2 just keeps releasing. We did carb it pretty high, and that was something else we noticed with a lot of the commercial malt liquor brands, was there wasn't a high level carbonation in there, but I think the carbonation really helps this beer out a lot. So I really encourage you guys to actually give this a try. Like, for all you homebrewers out there, I know malt liquors had a bad rep, but I kind of coined this term craft malt liquor, right? So the challenge is, take the essence of a malt liquor and make it taste good, make it your own. And I really challenge you guys out there to try this out. It was a lot of fun, it really was. And to be honest, I love this. I would actually brew this again and put this on tap and drink it. Now, this does formulate a head. It doesn't have a significant head retention, and it seemed to be like most of those malt liquors we had almost had no head retention. Like, as soon as you pour it in there, it would drop right out. So this has a little bit of head retention. I think we probably could have boosted it with a little bit more dextrin malt, maybe some extra care pills or something, and I think it could have helped with that. But honestly, I don't really care, you know, for what it is. Like, it's a great beer. It tastes great. It's so good. And we did release this at the brewery, 1 barrel batch, And to be honest, people are a little bit afraid to try it at first because like, oh, malt liquor, ooh. But then once they sample it, they're like, actually, this is really good. And they end up buying a pint of it. So it's almost gone there. It was just a little test batch for fun. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video series. And I really hope it inspires you to go out there and try to make this style of beer. It's not really been done very often on the homebrewing side or even in the craft brew world. And it's a lot of fun. So good luck and cheers.